Jones? Here. Trustee Johnson?
Here.
Trustee Sapp? She is here, but she's not in the room at the moment. Trustee Dr. Winston?
Here.
Thank you. Trustee Turner?
Present.
I would like to move to amend the agenda by amending item number 6 to the next board meeting until the language is resolved. I have reached out in response. I appreciate the brain of the people and the rest.
Is the word that we talked about last week, which we're going to do on Friday, or what do you want to
I was
do?
supposed to connect, you told me to reach out to you, and I did call, and I didn't get the response we were supposed to set up something.
That's even like I read, I mean, we were like, we agreed to it, right?
We did agree that I would write, we agreed that we would want to meet, and I called, I didn't.
But, we have a motion to amend the agenda to remove item number 6.
I second that motion.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Wonderful. So that is moved to the next board meeting. Again, that point in time, can we make it correct with the trustees' name and all of that on one It was only one of them that we no one else mentioned it. But this is
It's the same one you got at the last meeting. I just reprinted it, so you have it in front of you.
okay, I was just trying to see what needed to be tweaked.
Yeah, this discussed at the last meeting. Make sure we,
Okay. Is that the big?
remember the whole.
Okay. We will now have an education by our own Pastor Fitz.
Testing, testing, testing. All right. I'll ask everyone to stand, please, for prayer. Lord, I want to pray right now for our mayor, village clerk, and all our trustees and all the constituents that are standing in the need of prayer, even for our audience and everyone that is present, Lord. Lord, I ask you to lead us and guide us and order our footsteps as we place one foot in front of the other, as we take one day at a time. Lord, be with us, guide us, talk to us, that we might listen with an ear to hear what thus said the Lord. Lord, you are our ultimate leader that we should listen to and go to prayer often. So I'm praying this in Jesus' name, that this village, that we all come together, that we listen to one another, that we get an understanding from one another, and don't leave till we get the understanding. So bless us, Lord, and cover us with your blood. This is my prayer. I pray in the mighty, matchless name of Jesus. Can we say thank God?
Thank God.
And amen. God bless you. You may be seated.
I turned around and got out of here.
I've not received notice of the discussion, so we're going to move forward with the approval of the list.
I can't hear you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm asking for approval of the Journal of Proceedings for the minutes of January 27th, 2026 board meeting, February 3rd, 2026 committee meeting.
Is that a consensus vote that you're seeking, or do you want to take them individually?
You can take them individually.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the Journal of Proceedings for January 27, 2026 board meeting?
So moved.
It's been moved by trustee Johnson. May I have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, who made that second?
Second.
Trustee Burns seconded. Okay, it's been moved by trustee Johnson, seconded by trustee Burns, that we approve the journal of proceedings for January 27th, 2026 board meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Burns?
Here.
Trustee Jones? Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Sack?
Yes.
Trustee Sterling?
Yes.
And trustee Dr. Winston?
Yes.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the journal of proceedings for February the 3rd, 2026, the committee meeting? May I have a motion? Who is that? Trustee Burns. Okay, let me, I'm looking down, so sometimes I don't see.
I can't hear sometimes too.
Right, so,
It might help if you say,
please, you may do something.
it's best if you say your name, so even on the tape, I can hear it later when I'm doing the minutes for everybody, because it's quiet.
Trustee Burns moved. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Dr. Winston. Please call the roll.
Trustee Burns?
Yes.
Trustee Jones? Trustee Johnson?
No.
Trustee Sack?
Yes.
Trustee Sterling?
Yes.
Trustee Dr. Winston?
Yes.
The motion carries. Thank you very much. It's time for public comment. I'm going to ask anyone interested in providing public comment to stand to the mic now. I'm going to ask anyone that desires public comment to stand in line now. Last time, I'm going to ask for anyone desiring public comment to get in line now. So we have 4 individuals bringing public comment. Trustee clerk, village clerk. Oh, while she's doing that, I'll continue to read. All questions and comments must be directed to the mayor, Martha Campbell Pruitt. Each speaker may comment on any matter concerning the business of Sauk Village. Each speaker is allowed only one opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes and may not engage in debate, counter replies, or rebuttals. I will respond individually as needed.
Can you state your name?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Can you speak just a little louder?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Are you, is the mic on?
Yes, it's on. It's on.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Mayor, to our mayor, Mayor Martha Pruitt, and
State your name,
trustee,
ma'am.
Ernestine Blackman. It says, good evening to our mayor, Martha Pruitt, and the trustee. No disrespect or disregard to what I have to say. June 11, 22, I had a fire in my residence. I had several inspections done through B&F Construction Code Services. And on September 15, 2025, the mayor submitted a report to B&F Construction stating my concerns. I needed all inspections documented, reported, and findings. B&F Construction reached out to me stating that they could not release any inspection documentations to me because the village has not paid them. I am a citizen, a homeowner, and a taxpayer of this village. I have a legal right to obtain these inspection documentation. What can you do to help me to obtain these inspections report? I need a statement from you guys explaining to the judge as to why I can't obtain these reports. I have an upcoming court date. The judge is asking for these documents. Please provide me with these documentations by the end of this month. Thank you.
I definitely recall interceding on your behalf in this matter. I did not know that additional follow-up was needed. It was not reported to me. We will look into it. Mr. Finch, can you please record that for me? Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
I do have several documentations, you know, if you guys want to look at them. This was a report from you, so I made enough for everyone if you need one.
I don't think that's necessary. The administration will handle it.
It's 1609 Constance Avenue. It's here in the village. You're welcome. Thank you.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm Francine Anderson, and of course I have questions. First of all, I would like to reiterate that I asked about the road repair for 216th Place between Jeffrey and Peterson. The potholes are getting worse and worse as weather continues to fluctuate. If possible, can you have someone look and at least can provide something temporary so the cars are not destroyed, because the potholes are just that. Secondly, I would like to ask that you all stand in prayer for the life of Ida Scott. Ms. Scott has been a long-time village resident. She was a member of the Sauk Village Concerned Citizens and also played a very instrumental part in the election of our first African-American mayor, Mr. Lewis Towers. She passed on Friday, and her family is making the arrangements. Thirdly, I see today we have numbers for the finance, but there was no finance on the back table. So I'm just kind of asking, is that going to be something that we continue, or is that something that you guys are changing and it's not going to be there? Then I believe that's all I
Clerk
have.
Williams will speak to your last concern.
I'm so sorry. I'm glad you reminded me. And I guarantee you, it will be up on the website tomorrow morning. And it will be available to you. Thank you for reminding me.
I have an extra one if you would like mine.
I'll just wait till tomorrow and read it.
That's
Yes,
fine.
I'm sure
Concerning your
it's
others, I went out the next day after you mentioned the road repair needs on 216th, and it has been reported. Mr. Finch, if you can remind Public Works to take care of that matter as soon as possible, I would greatly appreciate it. Ms. Anderson, I would also appreciate if you sent me just a brief write-up on the late Miss Ida Scott so that I can place it on the Sauk Village e-news. If you have a picture of her, that would be wonderful too. I would like to include it. Thank you very much for that. And we will hold Ms. Scott in our prayers.
Whenever you're ready.
David Fields. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Board of Trustees, and Madam Clerk. One of the words that I heard today when the pastor
Can you talk a little louder, sir?
one of the words I heard today when the pastor was up saying the prayer was understanding. It was one of the words he used. So I stand here today to try and get understanding. Madam Mayor, please correct me if you feel that I'm saying anything wrong. A couple of weeks ago, the question was asked by Trustee Jones about Robert Rules of Order. And I believe, Madam Mayor, you said that in Robert Rules of Order, it says that you can't call a person's name. Now, I know I deal with Robert Rules of Order just about on an everyday basis. I have never ever read that in there. So, if that is in there, please show it to me. Because I've read Robert Rules of Order over and over and over, and I've never seen it. So I just want to know, where did you find that in Robert Rules of Order that tells you that you can't say a person's name when you speak? Thank you.
Thank you.
David Smith, resident. First question is about the water bills. As residents, can we get some sort of an update or a timeline? Your administration has been in office almost a year now. On May 6, 2025, your interim village administrator sat right here at a committee meeting and said, in 60 to 90 days, watch the video if you think I'm lying. He said it himself, in 60 to 90 days, he expected everything to be completed and fixed. We're almost a year into your administration, and still no progress. People are complaining. They pay their water bills, they see no updates. Almost everyone's water bills are considerably higher than what they were in the past. And I know you've been still the $60 whatever dollars a month, but a lot of people are complaining about their water bills. So can we get an estimated timeline on when this should be fixed? Can we get some sort of an update? First question. Second question, the audits. A lot of you campaigned about the audits. A lot of you got in office about the audits. A lot of you spoke about money that the village could receive about the audits. Can we get some sort of an update? Baker Tilly has been here twice since your administration started. Initially, interim village administrator Finch, on May 6th again, he promised by July that the audit would be done. Watch the video if you think I'm lying. The last time Baker Tilly was here, Madam Mayor, you asked them to have them done by the end of the year. We're running into March. We still haven't even had an update yet. I'm pretty sure the village still needs that money that you said we were lacking. Can we get some sort of an update on that? Next, the leaf pickup. A lot of residents are still complaining about the leaf pickup. We understand the snow messed up a lot of stuff in the weather, but can we get some sort of an update? Because there's a lot of blocks where there's still leaves. And I'm pretty sure it's going to clog a lot of drains when the spring rain hits. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Finch, I'm hoping that you have recorded all of his comments. Thank you, and we'll just take it from there. Moving on, item number 5, new business. Under A, financial matters, may I have a motion to approve transfers, payroll, and accounts payable distributions in the combined amount of $511,546.38 and authorize the finance department to remit payments. May I have that motion?
So moved.
It's been moved by trustee Johnson. May I have a second?
Trustee Burns, second.
Thank you. We have been properly moved by trustee Johnson, seconded by trustee Burns, that we approve the distribution and all of the other things that I read for $511,546.38. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Burns?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Sapp? Trustee Sterling?
Yes.
Trustee Dr. Winston?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to 5B, may I have a motion to approve a settlement agreement in the Shaquille Wright versus Village of Sauk Village and Officer Bruceman and others, and that's case number 2023 L011199 in the amount of $385,000.
So moved.
Been moved by trustee Johnson. May I have a second?
Second, trustee Jones.
Thank you. It's been moved by trustee Johnson, seconded by trustee Jones, that we approve a settlement agreement in the amount of $385,000. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Burns?
Abstain.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Sapp?
I'm sorry? No.
Trustee Sterling
Yes.
and trustee Dr. Winston.
No.
That motion carries. Remember, abstentions go with the majority. Okay, here we go again. May I have a motion to approve the settlement agreement in Safe Build versus Village of Sauk Village, case number 2024 L01148 in the amount of $72,000.
So move.
Thank you. It's been moved by trustee Johnson. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by trustee Winston. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Burns.
Abstain?
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Johnson.
Yes.
Trustee Sapp. Trustee Sterling.
Yes.
Trustee Dr. Winston.
Yes.
The motion carries. Moving right along, item D, may I have a motion to approve the settlement in Steve LaRock versus Sauk Village, case number 2025 CH 12003 in the amount of $5,500.
So move.
Trustee Johnson moved. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Trustee Jones seconded. It's been properly moved and seconded. Any questions, comments, debates? And forgive that I didn't ask that on the other two. I have a question. Trustee Sapp.
You can't hear it.
They can't hear you.
My question was, where will the $385,000
Finance Director, where's the $385,000 come? Her question was, where is the $385,000 going to come from? Village Administrator, I'm sorry, not Administrator, Director, Finance Director. Thank you. Our insurance policy will pay each of them, I'm certain, and naturally, since it's so close to us reestablishing an insurance policy, we will take a major hit. So just prepare yourself, okay? When we get those quotes. Moving on to numbers.
Mayor, I have a question.
I'm sorry.
Trustee Burns has a question regarding D. From my recollection, there was some paperwork that was supposed to be followed up on this Steve LaRock case regarding submitting a FOIA. We talked about this. We said that we did not have the FOIA that he submitted, and we were supposed to get it or figure it out.
That's not quite how that was not quite the spin on it. The FOIA did indeed arrive. That's how we knew that it was a FOIA. No. It eventually was sent to us by the State's Attorney's Office. The reason why we could not vote on it previously is because we did not have the written settlement agreement. We now have the settlement agreement. So that's what we are asking to be approved, the actual settlement agreement. The amount has not changed. It's just we didn't have the necessary paperwork the last time it was put on the agenda.
And may I ask, why wasn't the FOIA answered in the timely manner?
The FOIA was not answered in a timely manner because it was sent to the old FOIA@saukvillage.illinois email, and at that point in time, that email had not been forwarded to the clerk's office. So before, when someone did FOIA saukvillage.org, it went to the then FOIA clerk. It did not get transferred during the transition of offices.
So that's, are we in compliance with where the FOIAs go now?
She's receiving them now.
The clerk.
Clerk is receiving them now. We
Thank
did
you.
a test run, and she is receiving them now.
Thank
It's just that we had no way of knowing that those FOIAs were not forwarded to her.
Thank you.
It was a lesson that we learned that cost us $5,500, but we've learned that lesson.
So Mayor, did we decide on who the secondary person was to receive those 4 years? Because that's what we talked about in session. So this wouldn't happen again
No,
if Clerk
we
Williams
did not, but we will take care of that. Mr. Finch, please make a note. It will be taken care of. In terms of the report of officers, I don't really have a lot of.
We didn't vote. We didn't vote yet.
Okay, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Burns.
Abstain.
Trustee Jones. Trustee Johnson.
Yes.
Trustee Sapp. Trustee Sterling.
Yes.
And Trustee Dr. Winston.
Yes.
That motion carries. Oh, I'm supposed to do this also. Should I do all of them in a row? Make up for the ones that I missed. In terms of my, the mayor's report, know that I don't have a written report. It just dawned on me this morning that this was the 4th Tuesday. And so I did not have time to actually prepare a written one. But the mayor has represented the village of Sauk Village at numerous times throughout the year. We've gone to so many meetings with SSMMA, Regional Mayors Caucus, just some of everything. And then also during that time, the last grant that we received for low income individuals and energy efficiency, we have been meeting all of the tenets of that. We've had one town hall meeting. The next town hall meeting is scheduled for this upcoming Saturday. Initially, it was announced that it would be here in the Rotunda. It's being moved to the community center, and the reason that it's being moved is a couple of the presenters asked to show a video presentation or LCD PowerPoint or whatever, and we know early in the day, in here the room is so light that it's impossible to see a video presentation of anything. So at the community center, we have more control over the lights and the visibility. So that is why it's changing. It will begin at 10 o'clock still, end at 9 o'clock. And as I invited last week, I'm inviting each of you to please plan to attend if at all possible. We have another event coming up this coming Thursday, and Mr. Finch, do you want to do that or should I do it? We have our very first business after hours planned for this Thursday at 5:30. Unfortunately, the school district has their Black History program on that same day, and theirs start at 5. And I thought that I would do my very best to attend. I'm going to still attempt to represent the village at that function, even though I'm really not one that like to run into a place just to show my face and turn around and walk out. But I'm going to do my very best, and I'm going to let God lead my direction in how I do that. And I think for now that concludes my report. Clerk Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. What time will the business after hours be concluding, do you think?
7?
7, okay. 5:30 to 7, okay, thank you. First of all, I sent an email out that the Sauk Talk reports are due on Friday. The Sauk Talk will be out on March 1st. Much of the Sauk Talk this month will be related to voting. Many things have changed. Some things have changed. Some things we just forget about from time to time. So it will be like an election edition on March 1st. Also, I wanted to say that I've been trying to plan a calendar for the year up until July. What I have so far is we have to have our village stickers done by May 1st. I reached out to the school to see if we're going to work together this year or not, but I haven't heard anything yet. We also have Student Government Day on April 28th. I know this is new to the newer board members. I'll be contacting you individually and the new staff on exactly how Student Government Day is operating. But I'm asking everybody to please make sure you're in attendance on April 28th. Also, I'm trying to focus on family this year. It seems like there's been a lot of heartache, a lot of people sick, dying, and just the world in general is just not in a good place right now. So I'm trying to focus on family with my events. And in May, I reached out to the trustees. I'd like to see a mother-son dance because I know there's a lot of kids that don't have that anymore. Between the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts being gone, we don't have anything to bring our parents together with our children. So in May, I'm planning a mother-son dance. In June, I'm planning a father-daughter dance. And in July, I'd like to see a good old-fashioned community picnic. I'm not sure what other events are being planned by anybody else on this board, but we can work together. It doesn't have to be the clerk's event. I reached out to the trustees asking who wants to work with me on these events, because I think my focus this year will be family. So I'm not saying anybody else has to be a part of it, but I'd like participation from everybody as much as possible. I know back to school is in August, and I'm not sure who's going to pick that up this year, but I think we all should start thinking about back to school in August as well, because our kids really need as much help as they can get. And I believe that's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Moving on, I see Mr. McGrath is with us with our legal counsel. Do you have anything you wish to say?
Good evening, Mayor and Board and department heads. Nothing to add. I'm happy to see that we're able to settle those 3 litigation matters. I'll give a full report at the next meeting for the remaining items, or remaining litigation items. We're dwindling it down. There's one other big case, but the rest are moving forward. So hopefully in the next few months, you won't need any litigation reports. Should be good. Thank you.
Attorney McGrath, I do have a question, because I know we have a third-party attorney, and we still have pending litigation from when Ansel Glink was our corporate authority, and some of them are the same names of people who are against the village. How do we keep up with which ones are paid, to whom we pay? Can you, in your office, maybe focus on that and let us know how we can make certain that we're not being double billed, intentionally or unintentionally?
Sure.
But it seems like we are getting billed for many of the same cases and coming to us from different directions.
Yeah, that shouldn't be the case at all, because with Ansel Glink, they're not on any cases anymore. So those are older invoices, but I can go through it with
They're older
Mr. Finch.
invoices, but we still owe the money.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, as I said, I get 2 and 3 invoices for the same litigation.
Because of older invoices that weren't paid to the prior firm handling it, but I can go through it with Mr. Finch.
Thank you.
And with your honor.
I would appreciate that. Thanks so much. And thanks for being here. Village Engineer Melanie Arnold.
Good evening, Mayor, Madam Clerk, and Board of Trustees. I have no report this evening.
Thank you, and thank you for being here still. Moving on to reports of departments. Police Department is not here. Can we make certain that if Chief Mac Sanders is not here, that a representative for the Police Department will be here in his stead? Fire Department, Chief Keith Dahm.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Board of Trustees, Madam Clerk. Fire department report, since the last period when I reported, we had 179 calls for service, including we responded to 4 structure fires. We had one 2 weeks ago that was started by a fire pit in the backyard. So I missed the Tuesday night board meeting while we were out there on Narrow Avenue. We also had 18 motor vehicle crashes and 131 EMS responses. Some of the training topics for the fire department over the last month was carbon monoxide emergencies, pre-incident planning, saws, and target hazard familiarization. We did a walkthrough of WinPAC as part of our target hazard familiarization. The idea is that we walk through our target hazards in a non-emergency environment to get familiar with the building. The first time we go into one of these target hazards should not be if there's an emergency or a fire taking place. So I thank WinPAC for hosting us for 3 straight days with us and our automotive partners. It was very educational for every one of us. Want to remind residents that time change into daylight savings time is Sunday, March 8th. If you have a regular 9-volt battery, it's time to change the battery in your smoke detector. If you have one of the smoke detectors that we provided, those are 10-year life batteries, you do not need to change that battery. We do have the free smoke detectors. Anybody in the village that is interested, please contact us at the fire department. We can drop them off at your house or we'll install it for you. Continuing through winter, winter safety message, we got a lot of temperature swings, freeze, thaw cycles. Make sure your carbon monoxide alarm is working, keep your water running on cold nights. Let's just be vigilant for safety. And then one other thing I want to add is we had a fire over the weekend, Sunday night, which was caused by a dryer vent that was clogged. Cleaning up the lint trap, cleaning up the pipe going from the dryer to the outside is essential to be done at least once a year. This, even though it was right next to the exterior wall, we had 3 feet of solid lint going from the dryer to the outdoors, and that is what caught fire. So we're fortunate to get a real quick knock on it. Fire was contained inside the dryer and didn't extend beyond it, so we were pretty lucky with that. In closing, I'd like to thank the board, the mayor, and the residents of the village for your continued support in the fire department. We really appreciate all your support. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You are responsible for cleaning out. Her question was, is there a company that come out to clean the dryer, filters and everything, but the vent?
I'm not positive, but I'll get back to you on that.
Can you do
a report for the Sauk Club, and if there is a company that does that, I'll have that in the Sauk Club, and when I email Madam Clerk my Sauk Club report, I can CC the mayor and the trustees on it.
I would also like for you to have that ready as you give that presentation on Saturday at the town hall so that they can get everything at one time. But I thought that homeowners were responsible for cleaning their vents, cleaning, just like with their fire pit, all of that. I thought that was all our responsibility.
It is, but we may have some residents who don't know how to do it, and if there's a company that provides the service just for safety.
Oh, yes, and that's going to ask him to make certain that he have it for Saturday for the town hall meeting.
Chief, I want to thank you and your crew for the great service that was provided to my husband yesterday. When I called the fire department, they were professional, they were quick, and they did a great job. Now back and forth to the hospital, down to the hospital very quickly, and they're very professional. I want you to tell them that came to my house, great job. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm always glad to hear when they do a great job.
Fantastic.
Every single day.
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on, we will now hear from our finance department, interim director Fred McMillan.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, clerk. Good evening, trustees, and good evening, residents. The prior period finance update. The finance team.
Sir, can you hold the mic to your mouth, please?
The finance team has completed 3 bank recs, 3 major bank recs for the 2021-2022 fiscal year.
We have over 20 more bank recs to complete for that period, but the village had hired a staff accountant, so I have that person assigned to help perform some of those tasks. This is part of our strategy on how we can start, as one of the residents asked, getting those oral audits performed. The issue with getting audits is not a time thing, it's a reconciliation thing. We're doing work that should have been done 5 years ago. So we're recreating financial records that were either neglected or overlooked or just plain old forgotten about. And we have had several other audits. We had a fiscal audit from the MFT that's from January 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2024 that we're pulling documents for and compiling bank records. We completed an IMRF retirement audit that was due in 2024. And we have a couple of other audits that we're working on. So we're trying to get those audits together because we understand that they're important to our getting financial opportunity. As far as our current financial situation, we anticipated receiving our second disbursement for property tax. I think we received some property tax money this month. We were anticipating in March. I think we received 100 kilograms, and that is in the bank now. I am submitting a procurement policy, and I will have it for the next board meeting next Tuesday for the board to review. Hope you guys will review it and approve that policy. I think that will help the village speed up and accommodate a lot of the fiscal issues that we have. Purchasing is not just calling someone and buying, it's a process to it, and that policy will guide you through the process and help us speed up procurement. And that's it.
Mr. Miller, thank you, sir, for that, but can you tell them about the letter we received from the Comptroller's Office?
Yeah, we received a letter from the Indiana Comptroller. Illinois Comptroller, saying if we can't produce the 2022 audit, that they were going to force us to have some auditors come out. We replied to that audit letter because they asked for a reply by the 22nd. We replied to it explaining the situation because those auditors, if they come out, are going to charge anywhere from 120 to close to 200 an hour, and they're going to be preparing the records that we're preparing anyway. And we already have an auditor on call. So once we can get the work papers together, we'll give it to Baker and Tilley, and they will do an audit. The issue is that we're recreating old work papers that should have been done 5 years ago. But we are hoping that the state will look at that and understand that that is a problem we have. So they'll cut us some grace and we'll just keep chugging at it. We asked for an extension, and they take us through till September to prepare these documents for an audit. Audits are not easy to do because you have to go and look at every account, not just your bank accounts, but you have to look at your fixed assets and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're trying as best we can with the staff that we got, and hope that they'll agree.
I'm going to ask one other thing of you, if you don't mind, because you mentioned twice that we're recreating documents. Can you clarify what you mean when you say recreating? Because we're not creating, we are regathering. Isn't that more like it?
Well, I guess you could say it's a mixture of both. We're creating documents for old data that should have been created, like a bank record. Bank record should have been done, because how would you know how much cash you had if you didn't reconcile your bank account? Well, we're reconciling bank accounts that should have been reconciled back in 5 years ago. So we're recreating those bank accounts. You can look in the general ledger and see where you, for lack of a better word, they stopped working. They just didn't put stuff in it. And it cleared the bank, but it wasn't put into the general ledger. So our software is incomplete. That's why next week when you receive the auditor's letter from the 2020-2021 audit, you won't be surprised that they weren't very good. I won't give out his disclaimer because I think that's what the auditor should do. But you'll see that what I'm saying is they didn't do the work that's needed to get it out there. And we're recreating those papers because we have to go back, find those papers, and then create a form or a work paper to present to an auditor. So I guess you're right, we are gathering work, but we're recreating the work paper. So it's a lot of work.
It's a lot. I have a question.
So I just want to
Clarify. So what you're doing is you're going to the banks and you're getting the monthly bank statements from 5 years ago. You're taking the month bank statements from 5 years ago and you are going line by line to see what came out, what went in, and you are reconciling it that way, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We have over 30 something in that account. So we're doing quite a lot.
How many accounts?
Third.
Trustee Sterling?
Yeah, that was much better because from what he's saying, he's making us think he's just coming up with numbers and putting it in there. So that makes more sense of what you're saying, but going back with the bank records.
Yes.
I also have a question. You were saying the 2017-2024 audit was a fiscal audit. Was that, did you say that was the MFT fund you did an audit for?
Yeah, the MFT is asking for this. We're preparing for that audit right now. From January 2017 to December 2020.
So it hasn't been done, but you're preparing for that.
Correct.
And also, you're saying from the property tax, you said we have received $120,000.
That is correct.
Okay, and that's in the bank.
That's in the bank.
Trustee Jensen?
Is there any way we can get a copy of that memo that you have, please, the whole board?
The who?
Yes.
That was my board day. So I will give it to the clerk.
Yeah, you'll give it to me and it'll be in your packet, in your packet. I didn't get one from you from this board packet. Could you email it to me?
No,
Okay. Okay. So what I sent an email to you all earlier was to please have the reports in writing so the board can get them. When I get them, they'll be put in with the agenda. And then it will also be included in the minutes of that meeting for the residents to see your entire report instead of me paraphrasing it in the minutes. It's just more helpful if you give me your written report. Okay. We're going to work on that.
Winston?
So I
just wanted to clarify. In a year, you're doing 360 reconciliations total. So you got 360 times 5. You have 1,800 reconciliations that you have to complete for the last 5 years.
It won't be done in a year because we have to stop and pull paperwork for the actual audit.
Absolutely. I know that. I'm just saying each month, each bank account have to be reconciled.
For each month.
For each month. We have 30 accounts. 30 times 12 is 360. 360 times 5 is 1,800 bank reconciliations that have not been done.
That is correct.
Thank you, sir.
I think I saw another hand on this side.
I just had a question for Madam Clerk. When he gets you that report, you going to email us that or?
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
And as I said, it will also be shared in the minutes from now on, so the residents see the full report as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Trustee Barnes?
Thank you, Mayor.
The question I have is, $120,000 has come in for our property taxes. Is that normal for it to be split up like that? And when should we expect the rest?
You get two disbursements. We got the first disbursement, I believe, in May, and then you get the second disbursement in the next year. So this was our second disbursement. The first disbursement was larger. I don't know that amount, but it was larger.
Thank you.
Ms. Carter, thank you, sir. Thank you for being able to respond. Village Administrator, Interim Director Anthony Payne.
I want to pass on something first, and it's wonderful that a resident brought it up. So, good evening, Mayor, Madam Clerk, trustees, and residents. What I just passed out to you all was a small sample of what's going on in the water department. Mr. Smith mentioned about allegedly what I said on video. So I want to address the water bills. If Mr. Smith recall, I did say there's some items going on with the water bill that took place after 2023, and some of that was different things. If you guys recall, in the first couple months I was here with putting water meters backwards, putting water meters in houses that wasn't put into the system. But what I gave you in front of you, we have roughly 3,000 water accounts, and what you have in front of you is roughly 600 houses in Sauk Village that do not get a water reading. So what that means is, one, when residents have water bills that fluctuate, it fluctuates because there's no system mechanism in their house to actually tell the Public Works Department how much water was actually used. So one of the things we have been doing over the last several months is actually going into these homes and putting in new meters. Now, similar to the audits, that's not an easy task, because each meter that we are putting in costs the village about $150 per meter, and then we also have to buy the transmitter. Not only that, we only have, I want to say 8 staff in Public Works because we lost 2 staff over the last few months. So this is an ongoing process, not because they have to do their day-to-day stuff, as well as find time to coordinate with residents to get these meters. So that's just a small, one of the issues that we're dealing with. Again, this has been a problem going on for 2 years, and I know it was mentioned that I said this would get done in 90 days, which is still, subject to interpretation. But I'm glad that Mr. Smith is bringing this up, because hopefully these are the same questions he was asking prior to myself and Madam Mayor getting in office, because I know prior to 2023, May of 2023, we didn't have these problems. But nonetheless, they are being addressed. One thing I will address, because I know it's out there on social media, and it was mentioned tonight, that it is a lie. Water bills are not higher than what they were. For instance, Madam Mayor and the board, if you guys recall, I gave you guys a report that ABF water bill was $1 million when we came in the door. ABF water bill is not $1 million. There was a lot of water bills that was $100,000 when we walked in the door. There are residents that have high water bills, and as they come to the front office, talk to myself or the front desk staff, we do a research to find out if they one of those names that's on that list, that meters is old, outdated. One, if the meter was installed and the guys that did it installed it incorrectly, if the number that transmit the signal was not put into the system properly, was not added to our system, or if simply put, that over the last 2 years, the village or previous administration did not turn off anybody's water, therefore these individuals let their water bill accumulate. For instance, 2 weeks ago, we had a resident come in, her water bill was $3,000. After talking with her, after looking at all her bills, it was determined she has not paid a water bill in 24 months. And she knew she had not paid a water bill. So that's a misnomer to say residents' water bill are high if you don't know the substance and context behind it. Now, you might have a resident that do have a water bill that's $3,000, but again, if it's related to the meter, we go in, we change the meter out. The other problem that we're having is, and I mentioned this several months ago, as he said, check the video, there's 3 IT components in the water bill. You have the meter in the house, you have the handheld machine that the public works use, and then you have our system that we import. If those 3 things are not lined up, you get a false reading. You get numbers that's all over the place. Unfortunately, and it's one of the very few things that I'm gonna say, being a little cocky, that I'm not able to figure out how internally did the staff change the IT coding. That's the challenge that I'm dealing with now. The 3 IT components are not regulated to read each other. That's a process. That's something I will be coming to the board, asking the board to bring in an IT firm that strictly work with meters to figure out what did they did wrong prior to 2025. It was also mentioned about the timeline of the audits. Again, if you check the video, you remember I said right there, as Mr. Smith alluded to, I asked the board to help us with the audit. I asked the board to bring in Lauterbach and Amon to assist with the audits. As the finance director just said, and as Trustee Winston just alluded to, there's a lot of work to be done. But the board voted no to the Lauterbach and Amon coming in. As well, in the previous administration, the board approved Selden Fox to assist, but at that time, that mayor chose not to allow the outside firm to come in and assist the finance department. So yes, we are behind on audits, but that is not something new. However, unfortunately, as I've told the mayor and some of the trustees that have come talk to us, we have a finance director doing work that people got paid to do the last 4 years. As opposed to him working to finish an audit, he's starting at the beginning level of an audit. One of the reasons the audit was not, and I mentioned this again a few months ago, the 2021 audit was not turned over yet, is because the auditor, who is a CPA, who is not going to jeopardize his license for Sauk Village because Sauk Village want him to rush through an audit, his supervisor was so uncomfortable with the numbers that the village gave that they had to make sure they was not going to get penalized as a CPA firm. If you recall on that video, I said, according to the village's own numbers, the bank account was $777,000 negative. That's what delayed us getting the report for the 2021 audit. Not anything that we've done between myself, the mayor, or the finance director. It was that the audit firm wanted to make sure they CYA because the numbers that was provided did not make any sense. And as the director said, you guys will get a plenty earful of what really took place during that time. As far as what we try to do, as Mr. Smith, the director said, we do have a staff accountant in to assist with us, but the work, it is what it is. We have a lot to do. It's going to take some time, but the thing that I'm comfortable about, when it's done, it will be done correctly. It will be done where we can get an opinion from the auditors. We just now, earlier this week, late last week, finally got information sent to the state, so the state can take one thing off our plate, because we have gotten, since we've been in this administration, 2 MFT audits, 1 IMF audit. We're getting ready to start a workers' comp audit. We got the force demand letter. So we're dealing with a lot of minutia for the last administration. So I applaud the residents for asking questions, want to know why things are not done, but also understand we right now just a 3-man team. That last administration had at least 6 people, so we're doing the best we can. We're going to do the best we can, and I will say this, and I will conclude my report. We will do better than the last people did in this finance department. So residents of Sauk Village, know that your tax dollars will be spent wisely. Know that when you ask questions about finances, you'll get a direct answer, and it is what it is. It might not be the most pretty answer, but it is the truth, and that's what we're going to provide to you guys, transparency. The last thing I want to address as far as the leaf pickup, that has been something we've heard a lot of complaints about. Unfortunately, and I'm not speaking for the director of Public Works, we did lose 2 senior staff members from Public Works, as well as we had the machine that helps us clean the streets. For whatever reason, the last Public Works director took it apart. When he tried to get it fixed, the cost to fix it at that time was something that we put off, because as you guys know, about a month ago, we tried to cut back on some spending because of the delay in property taxes. So again, a lot of the things that are not getting done in a timely manner, as a resident may think, is not because of lack of effort. It's because a lot of the stuff we are trying to fix is from stuff that we walked into, and unfortunately, it takes a process. So with that, I conclude my report.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to go back to Chief Sanders for his report.
Testing.
Yeah, his report, his mic is very nice and loud.
Hello. There we go. Good evening, Mayor, trustees, clerk, residents. Thought there would be more people here tonight after the Facebook went wild about our cars, but obviously not. So it is what it is.
Well, I did see one of them on the street as I was going home, and it was sharp. Yeah. I'm like, I had to blow my horn and give a thumbs up. Very impressive.
Thank you. I'm coming up on 6 months here, and at the end of the day, when I came in here 6 months ago, I said I'm for the people, I'm for the residents, I'm the chief of all you. And the biggest thing is, I like the democracy that we have. At the end of the day, I'll be brief because I'm a little late, so excuse me. The biggest thing is, Sauk Village motto is pride and progress, period. Doesn't say anything else other than pride and progress. So with that said, I don't want it to be a cliche. So when I leave this place, when I leave this seat, whether I'm Airbnb it or not, I want you to remember the legacy that we can all build. And with that said, the last months have been interesting. We went from no heat to having heat, and thank you for your support. We went to, when I first got in the building, they barely had cars, and you need cars. It's just like trying to fight a fire without a fire truck. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. A lot of things get misconstrued, and that's fine, that's fair. People can say what they want to say. They can sit where they want to sit and say what they want to say, but I don't see them here right now. I have an open door policy, and that's fair too. I'm pretty approachable. There's certain things that I would like to see that we could do. When I say we, I say that from the residents that said certain things, from abandoned vehicles or anything like that, we made sure that we rectified the situation. We're not going to see everything, because guess what? We're human. We make mistakes. That's the thing. But with that said, the residents that called in, I appreciate it, and I'm looking to reach everyone, because we, when I say we, I don't mean me. I mean, we're all in this together. And at the end of the day, we have to do it together. So if you see something, say something. Make a phone call. We'll figure it out. We'll work it out together. And guess what? I'm not going to throw you under the bus and say, hey, that person over there on X place, call the police on you or anything like that. I'll make sure my officers don't do that either. But with that said, I'll go into my report, and I'll report pretty much. Oh, back to the cars. The cars is paid for. I have to talk about this, because at the end of the day, the last time the village bought cars was 2022. All right, and we're talking about 24 hours a day. And when we brought it to you, we said we had 3 grants, and with those grants, we're still waiting for them to release the funds. When those funds get released, I will make sure I'll let you know when they get released. It was from the JAG grant. Mr. Finch also secured some other funds. But beyond that, the goal was to spread that payment out over X amount of years and pay for that out of the tow fund. I say out of the tow fund, not your tax dollars. It's from like the DUI fund, the drug fund, from funds where the officers went out and they actually did their job, not to take money out of your pocket so they can get better equipment. So they could, when you ride through Tinley Park, when you ride through Orland Park, when you ride through Matson, when you ride through Sauk, Chicago Heights, and you decide to go down Sauk Trail, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to compete with the image that they uphold. And I say that, and I'm not saying it because I'm kind of bougie. I'm just saying it because this is what it is. This is what the job, this is what we need. All right, so, yeah, with that, as far as the calls of service, we had 516 calls of service. Out of those 516 calls, we had 17 arrests. All right, we're still doing our studying, the certain things we have to do for the state. We had our new Illinois laws, because guess what? Every year the laws changes. We did practicals. We're working on practicals this summer. Our bikes are in the process of being put together. We're waiting on to get out there and do our details. I'll explain that a little later. The biggest thing we had to deal with over the month was obviously, everything's going on with ICE and certain things like that. So Bloom Trail decided to have a walkout. Yeah, and guess what? They didn't just do what, some kids do back in the day, which we couldn't do, because guess what? We would have got expelled. They decided to take a walk down Sauk Trail. They didn't go westbound, they went eastbound. They wound up at Gas and Wash. Yeah, Gas and Wash, which is in Sauk Village. And then what happened was they had some teachers to walk with them and stuff like that. My job is I'm liability conscious. If you ask anybody about me, they tell you I'm liability conscious. I want to make sure we cover ourselves. Yeah. And in that, because we're self-insured. So the biggest thing is they were talking about doing another walkout. With the help of my staff, your staff, we were able to go down there and we were able to talk with the administrators along with the other chiefs of police in the neighborhood to let them know how lucky they were that nothing really happened that day, for the simple fact that some kids on our end. I don't know what you heard out there, but as far as the Sauk Village end, it ended in no arrest per our agency, which is great. All those kids, they ascended up on Sauk Village, they crossed 394, we shut down traffic. They made it as far down to Popeyes. They actually had off-campus lunch that day. Found out that guess what? The teachers told them to be back at 6th period or something like that. So we told them to wrap up your meal and go back to school. So obviously you do something once, you want to do it again. So they decided they want to do it again, so we had to go there and tell them, look, you exercise your First Amendment right, that's great, but you know what? You put yourselves in jeopardy as well as the potential threat. And it's not about the actual threat within the people that's doing it for the right reason. It's those one or two people, those one or two agitators that throw it off for everybody else. So from there, Rickover decided to do it. You didn't hear about that one, right? Yeah. Because sometimes you have to ignore certain things because you give certain things energy, and that takes a toll within itself. So Rickover was talking about doing it. This is classified information. They were talking about leaving the school and then going down to Strasburg and then coming back to school. So we had to do what we do, and they didn't do it. So that's good. We wrote some tickets. I know you like snow tickets. We did 33 of those out of 85 tickets we wrote. So if you got any other questions, I left if you got your packet, I know you got your packet. Not if you got your packet, you got your packet. I sent a semi-colorized picture of that. And on top of that, during the month, me and the mayor, we took a ride through the town. And I'm looking forward to riding with the rest of you. Hopefully we can do that soon. That's my report.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm going to read the Community Development Report in the absence of our interim director. She writes, good evening, Madam Mayor, Madam Clerk, trustees, village administrators, and residents. For the month of February, the Community Development Department has issued and or reviewed 38 building permits, 19 contractor licenses. They've issued 7 stop work orders for working without a permit, and they answered 6 citizens' complaints. Business license packages are being prepared and will be going out next month. The fee schedule is in review and will be brought before the board for the updating of fees. Thank you. That concludes her report.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes.
So you just read stop work permits for working without a permit. What is considered working? And what do you need permits? What do you need to be doing in your businesses to have to obtain a permit? What type of work?
There's a long list of the activities that require permits, and I cannot rattle off to you all of those instances where permits are needed, but typically, look at it this way. Anything that was not already evident when the establishment was built, any changes to the surfaces or whatever can be construed as issues or elements requiring a permit.
So in the case that nothing has been done outside of what was already established, how do you handle that?
Please say that again.
So you said a permit usually is required if you do something in that place of business that was not already existing. So if you have a place of business and everything was already there and you didn't have to make any changes, how do you handle that?
That's nothing to handle. But if you're doing flooring, you're replacing heating, air conditioning, windows, any type of treatment along that line. And as I said, I don't have the total list, and so I'm not going to be backed into providing total information for which I'm not privy to right here at my desktop. So I invite you to communicate with the Community Development Department and or consider looking in our code, which would address those needs as well. But I don't want to go further because I don't want any of my statements to be misconstrued and taken out of context, because I'm saying I don't know it all right now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Mr. Finch, I'm going to publicly ask that at future meetings, at future meetings, all staff are on board with their reports the Friday by 10 o'clock, and that they are present to meet our trustees and respond to our residents. We're not calling on them to come every board meeting anymore. Part of their job is they're supposed to be here. And it's my expectation that they will be here from now on. Can you help me with that? Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Moving on to comments from the Board of Trustees. We're going to start with our own trustee, Aretha Barnes.
No comments at this time.
Thank you. Trustee Reagan Johnson.
No comment at this time.
Thank you. Trustee Taisha Jones. That's really not close enough to your mouth. It needs to be in your mouth.
Is that better?
Well, hitting the mic isn't it? We got to hear you talk.
Okay, so I want to address the recent correspondence and concerns regarding meeting procedures, conduct, communication, and respective roles of elected officials and staff.
We had that conversation?
Well, there was a lot going on last week, and I just wanted to move forward and bring it in as a report on things, how we can just move a little different. I recognize and respect the importance of following Robert's Rules of Order and maintaining orderly has always been to seek clarity, promote transparency, and ensure that all matters before the board are properly understood so that we can make an informed decisions in the best interest of our residents. At this time, it is essential that our meetings reflect mutual respect among trustees, the mayor, and staff. A professional and collaborative environment allows all of us to effectively fulfill our responsibilities. This includes ensuring that the village clerk is able to perform all full duties of that office without restriction, overlap, or interference, as the clerk plays a critical role in maintaining accuracy, compliance, and transparency. Clear communication defines roles, and consistent application of procedure help that prevents understandings and reduce unnecessary conflict. I believe that when these principles are upheld in our meetings, it can be more productive. My goal is not to engage in division, but to promote accountability, professionalism, and cooperation. I remain committed to working respectfully with all members of the board and staff to strengthen our process and improve on how we conduct business on behalf of our residents. I welcome continued dialogue on how we can move forward in a positive and unified manner, respectfully. We had one resident that did speak up today, and he spoke on saying names. I also have the Robert Rules of Order. Thank you, Mayor.
You're more than welcome.
Please consider allowing everyone to be appreciated and recognized when recognition is due, which encourages motivation and well-doing that will push us further. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much for that. Trustee Sauk?
Thank you, Mayor. I have no report.
Thank you. Trustee Sterling?
I just want to say thank you, Trustee Jones, for that. I think we all needed to hear that so we can try to move forward in a proper manner. Other than that, I have no report.
Thank you. Trustee Dr. Whitson? No report. Mine is going to be very, very brief, and I know that many of you are probably going to be very thankful for that. I can't remember if I mentioned Meals in the Meantime that took place a couple of weeks ago. If I did, if
I think you were just talking about it was coming that particular.
it was coming. Well, it came, and it went without any hitches at all. We were scheduled to distribute baskets from 10 o'clock to noon. We finished before 11. We had 150 people to come through our lines, and they were parked all of the way down Torrance Avenue. But I'm going to tell you, we have an expert who knows how to move that traffic in pop-ups, and that is our own clerk, Debbie Williams. She and I were out there, and we didn't have uniforms on, or we didn't have the vests on, but you would have thought that we were experienced traffic controllers the way we were moving those cars, and the food fare was excellent. Do you hear me? It was, naturally they do mostly produce because they always talk about fresh, healthy, nutritious food items. Those people were so happy to get that food. They were so happy. And I told Mills in the meantime that they don't have to just reserve us for once a year. If they want to come 3 or 4 times a year, just let us know. We'll make the necessary provisions to accommodate them. So I do want to give them accolades because they were a fine-tuned machine too. They had, about 20 volunteers from outside of the village there helping to put everything together. I mean, I can't say anything else. I do want to also let you know, we've talked about the audit a couple of times this evening, and our auditors wanted to email the final report to me. And I said, oh no, you're not going to email the reports. Auditors cost a nice amount of money. And where I come from, the audit report that they give are usually a nice bound document accompanied by who's ever presenting it to walk through it. I can't accept anything less, even though I know it's been a long time coming, but that still does not mean that you're not going to respect our trustees and our residents the same as you do others. So I very politely asked him to make certain that he bring bound copies of his audit report and to please make every effort to be here on March 3rd, which is our next committee of the whole meeting. And guess what? He agreed. He thanked me. They will be here to give everyone the report that our administrators or directors have been sort of sugarcoating it, but know that I don't think that it's going to be one that's going to give us a lot of accolades. They're probably going to beat up on us just a little bit. Just know that and don't get defensive, because we've been letting you know all along. We did not have the information that they needed in order to conduct a viable audit. So we'll catch a hit on this one and maybe the next one or two, but you better believe, even though we're going through past audits, this staff is on it for what's taking place right now. So they're doing double duty overtime. And residents, you should expect no more than what they're doing. We're picking up the pieces. We're doing what needs to be done, how it needs to be done. But we promise you, the most recent that's due, it's going to only be delayed because they can't start one without the other. But we will have everything ready for them to say, here it is. You guys get to work. If you need to bring in a team to do it, bring in a team to do it. And guess what? That completes my report. So, may I have is there a question? Comment? Trustee Burns? Oh, you're just putting away your mic? Okay. You see, I'm trying to look at you guys from one side to the other. But may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
It's been moved. May I have a second?
Second.
Since all of us are here, I can ask all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Fine. We have adjourned at 8:25 p.m. Good job, people.
Ain't no way under the sun.
Did anything?
That could